Okay.
Go.
Hello, everyone. There are lots of new people. That's nice. So,
Hi.
glamour magic. Yeah. So we're gonna discuss what glamour magic is. Um, just like some quick definitions on like what it is and stuff. For the next slide. Oop. Go back. Okay, there. So here. Glamour is the energy that you surround yourself with. So how people perceive you based on how you want to be perceived. So the way that you dress, the way that the colors you wear, the jewelry you wear, that counts as glamour. Even just like dyeing your hair, basically how people perceive you. So glamour magic is a form of practical magic we use to achieve outcomes we desire through altering our appearance, aura, or energy alongside our practice. So people can be. I just love that chat. We so um yeah, it's practical magic because we use it to achieve something. So basically, we use it to manifest, and we use it to, since some people consider glamour as, yeah, I see invisibility in the chat. So some people consider glamour as like a veil per se about how people see them when that's not really the case, or that's not how they really look like. But glamour is basically just what you want other people to see you as, and that is how you look like. So it's not that you're hiding behind a glamour, you are just projecting a glamour, and your glamour is what you genuinely do look like or let people perceive you as. And glamour magic, being practical magic, we use it to achieve outcomes. And next, you've already been doing it through simple mundane things like doing your makeup just to feel better. Like I know some people will like put on eyeliner um, before like studying for a class, and it makes them feel um, more productive, or it makes them feel better. Painting your nails in theme with a holiday, so that's like sort of the same as people setting up their altars for pagan holidays. And skincare every morning, so that's like taking care of yourself and how you look like. Okay, I'll get into glamour sigils in a little bit, and etc. So harnessing your energy to easily do glamour magic. All magic is still about intention. I mean, like that's the core. It's not magic is not simply just intention, but the core of most magic is intention. So having a good foundation in setting intentions, manifestation, and visualization is very recommended, but it's not required. You can still do glamour magic, and you can do any kind of magic, even if you don't, even if you're just starting out. So the next slide are, so those are just like really quick definitions and explanations on what glamour magic really is. And we're gonna go on to color correspondences. So one of the main things about that like can be applied almost in everything is color correspondences. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about a power color. So what is it? This is the color you most associate with you, the color you find most powerful wearing, most dear to your heart, and the color you'll always be drawn to. So I think it's obvious with how I look like. My power color is pink. So every time that I go looking for, yes, power color can change, depending on where you are. You don't have to have only one power color at a time. You can definitely use whatever you feel most powerful in. Whatever that color is, that is your power color. So some people will use correspondences alongside their power color on what they think that, yes, I am always pink. So some people will like have this power color, but only specifically for what color they wear. Some people will have a power color for specific for this thing. So your power color can change. It can be multiple. Yes, it also does resonate with emotions. Some, for example, people go through emo phases. They'll wear a lot of black because they feel most comfortable in it. So they feel uh, they'll associate it with themselves, and they'll always find comfort in the color black. But then as they grow older and go out of their emo phase, you're gonna experience like, oh, maybe I like this color more. So it can definitely change. Um, Basically, your power color is very good for when you do, for example, candle magic, and you need, I guess I'm so stuck in the emo phase. So like glamour magic, and you need like you're gonna do a very personal spell, and you don't know what color, like what color of a candle you need. You can refer to your power color. It's basically the same um gist of having a sigil that you create being more powerful than a sigil you take from someone else. It's that kind of gist. So here are some color correspondences. Here's a list. This is not every color, obviously. Oh no, the thing. Sorry, there's like misplacement of the words. But anyway, so black, um, very commonly used for protection, banishment, warding off negativity. Because it looks like it absorbs light, so it like absorbs yeah. I don't know how to explain it further, but basically those are the correspondences of black. Um, so I'm not gonna go through every single one because like y'all can see it on the screen anyway. So when it comes to color correspondences having a lot of different meanings, like um, being light blue being healing, patience, understanding, honesty. Like, how are you going to know um, which correspondence you're gonna use? So these are very basic, like bare bone names, right? We all know that colors have different shades. So for example, I'll go with blue. So for blue, there's peace, protection, calmness, clarity, but then there's also light blue, but even blue and light blue have different shades. So for me, this is just an example. Definitely you can change correspondences up. So for me, sky blue, like a light colored blue, I use it for healing, but blue that's like is navy blue I use for protection, and then royal blue, or like um that very bright colored blue, I use for clarity. So you can set in like correspondences for different shades. You don't have to keep track of it. You can write it in your grimoire, or you can even just make up your own correspondence, whatever fits your practice and whatever fits you. Because no correspondence, we're going to go through a lot of correspondences in this class. No correspondence is set in stone. These, no one, just because I say that this is what I use, doesn't mean that you have to use it as well. You could definitely associate blue with something else. You can associate gold with something else. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that these are the correspondences to these colors, or if you use crystals or whatever. That doesn't mean that it's like that forever. You can definitely change it up. You can add your own. You can take away some things, but yeah, that's it. So next slide is just more correspondences. So I'm going to explain why. Oop, wait, go back. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to explain why we have. Oop, can we go back to the last slide, please? Yeah, there. So I'm just going to reiterate red being a correspondence for love. Red will symbolize love. I mean, that's very common, but that does not mean you do love spells. um, so red, people will like wear red when they're setting. People will not wear red, but like set red things out for example, Aphrodite, or a god or goddess of love. That's what it means. That's specifically what it means. Um, please it it does say sex there and love, but please don't uh think that this means that you can wear stuff like blood. Yeah, but when I say war, I mean more strength, because it's a very strong color. That's why war, when it comes to war, it doesn't necessarily mean like blood or anything. It just means more strength. So when you are in a battle with something in your life, you can use red. Which deities? I'm not sure, but I do know that Aphrodite prefers pink more than she does red. But that's because of my personal experience with her. There are You can look up deity color correspondences. There are a lot, but again, not set in stone. Anyway, next slide. So metal correspondences. Lots of people wear jewelry. Um, I know that several people like to wear crystals on like a chain. So if you don't want to refer to the crystal or the pendant thing, and you just want to wear a simple chain, you can use metal correspondences. So this can be any kind of jewelry, bracelets, rings, things like that. So these are the list of common jewelry metals. Definitely, you don't have to use all of. You don't have to like. Uh, these aren't set in stone. Again, I'm gonna reiterate that. But the one that I use the most is rose gold for femininity, because I that's what I look for when I wear my glamour. I look for femininity, so I wear a lot of rose gold and silver. So when it comes to silver, I use it because of the correspondence that it's protection and deflecting negative energy. So definitely you can refer to this list when you set your outfit for something. I know that like there'll be events. For example, you're going to an event and you're going to wear like you're planning out an outfit. You can look back on these correspondences. So next slide. Yeah, so this is actually my favorite, hand and finger correspondences. So I know so many witches love to wear rings because it's just very much a part of our aesthetic, I think. But hand and finger correspondences. So when you wear rings, when you do, for example, people who veil when they do spell work, you can change that up for a ring. You can wear like a ring for you can wear a ring on yeah you can wear a ring on your fingers depending on what you want for the spell that you're gonna do. So for example, if you're you want to receive something like it's the new moon and you want to do a simple ritual, you can wear a ring on your left hand or a bracelet on your left hand. That's for receiving energy. And I definitely use this list a lot. Oh yeah, too. Birthstones are also I think it's part of personal like your personal magic being um any recommendations on where to get jewelry and ethically sourced crystals. I think we have a list on the server, on resources on where to get. I'm not sure if there are crystals, but I do know a crystal shop. I'll type it in the chat after the class because I'm on my phone. Um, but I do know where you can get locally sourced crystals. Let me just read the chat. If I'm left-handed, should it be reversed? Well, I don't think so, honestly, because whatever is up to you, honestly. Because if you find your left hand more dominant, um, I associate with left being receiving and right being giving because right is my dominant hand. That's more common. So if your left hand is more dominant, you can see it much more of giving energy. How do people wear so many jewelry without looking crazy? Crazy is debatable. You can wear as many pieces of jewelry as you like. If someone calls you crazy, don't mind them. Is it possible to pull by if you use two or more power colors depending on mood and yes, it is possible. Um, so anyway, back to the hand and finger correspondences. There are sort of rings that you can buy in sets where like there are a lot of them already. And like they come in like there's a ring for closer to your palm and then there's a ring at your knuckle. I use those for when I want a very specific thing. Like I'll wear one of those types of rings, like those very big or chunky rings on my pointer finger for confidence when I go out. Um, so just refer back to this list when you wear rings. And in my opinion and in lots of other people's opinions, it really works and it really helps when you do spells, when you go out, basically when you create your glamour. So next slide. Ways to incorporate glamour magic. So here are just ways to use the correspondences that I have on this presentation. So using color correspondences in your outfit, makeup, hair dye, nail polish. So people who like to dye their hair, people from what I know, people who like to dye their hair love to change it up as well. So lots of people go to what looks good on them. Like I'm talking mundane. People go to what looks good on them, what matches their skin tone. But if you want to incorporate color correspondences into what you dye your hair, my best suggestion would be to use your power color. So this is why your power color can also be more than one color because your hair can be more than one color. Nail polish, for example, I change up my nails a lot, and they all have specific. I refer back to my list of correspondences for color when I do my nails. So this is definitely you can use color correspondences in almost everything. Like when you're buying something online and you don't know which color of this thing to get, you can refer back to color correspondences. Like for example, I have a keyboard that I use for like a Bluetooth keyboard I use for work. It's pink because my power color is pink. So that's like you can use color in pretty much everything. So metal correspondences in your jewelry, ring placement, and piercings. And then crystal correspondences, I don't have the list of crystal correspondences, mainly because I think there are so many lists to refer to that are more in depth that you can look up. And you can use crystal correspondences when you choose pendants, rings, any specific crystals by your mirror. Again, when you do things involving a mirror, make sure it's locked. And oil correspondences are more often than not also used as scents. So for example, you'll buy like a common thing for men's shampoo is using sandalwood, and sandalwood is actually a really good protection. Like it's really good for protection, sandalwood. So you can incorporate that as well into your hair products or bath products or even perfume. So those are how to use correspondences in pretty much everything that you have already. So next slide. So this is the actually last slide. In the next slide. These are spells and rituals. So these are definitely not the only things that you can do. You can do so many more things with glamour. But these are what I've done a lot that have constantly worked for me. And so here, drawing sigils on your mirror before doing your makeup or skincare. I will send maybe probably after this class, a sigil that you can draw. I've already sent it, but I'll resend it again. A sigil you can trace on your mirror when you do your skincare or your makeup, or anytime you use a mirror and anytime you want to use that sigil. Make sure your mirror is locked. There are several ways to lock your mirror. But when you draw when you trace your sigil before you do your makeup, the sigil can be for A sigil can be for like confidence. It can be um for those who do makeup, it can be for skill. Yeah, so when you draw sigils, you don't have to like make it too fancy. Um, you can definitely do a single stroke sigil, make your own sigils. Basically incorporate sigils into Glamour. Next is set intentions while lining your lips or your eyes. So here are examples like lining your lips for better communication or your eyes to see the truth. For example, I line my lips for better communication before times that I know that I'm going to talk a lot. So I did this literally right before this class. Um, and you can do this for like you have a job interview or you're going to have a presentation in front of a class and you don't want to mess up. You can line your lips or do something, use a correspondence for better communication or anything like that. Next are drawing sigils on your cheek using concealer, then blend it out. You can also change concealer for your skincare, for example, a serum that you're gonna blend out into your cheek. I do this a lot because it works very well. It'll blend into your skin. Sigils are great. Next is taking a bath using correspondences to manifest something. Lots of people during the new moon or the full moon will suggest that you do a ritual bath. Like obviously for those who can use like a bathtub or whatever, bath doesn't mean you have to use a bathtub. You can just be in the shower and use a bath products that have those correspondences that you want. Um, Using correspondences doesn't just mean like putting something on your body while you take a bath. You can also just like have a crystal next to you while you shower. That's definitely something you can also do. Washing makeup brushes with moon water or sun water or whatever water you would like. I do this because I'm a makeup artist and I do this so that my makeup brushes are somewhat charged. So when I do makeup, it's always as skilled as it could be. Next is enchanting jewelry. Does anyone have any questions on how to enchant? Because I can go into detail on how to enchant things, not just jewelry. Hello? Okay, so enchanting is very easy. It's literally just visualization. So when you one of the ways that I enchant things is just through visualization. I basically just hold it. I hold, for example, a new piece of jewelry that I bought, and I sit with it and I visualize that this thing that I'm going to wear is for this purpose. And I just think that in my head. You don't even have to chant it. You can chant it if you want, though. Um, that's a very quick way, and as long as you believe it, it will work. Another way, yes, you can enchant jewelry you already wear every day. Um, a very easy way that you don't have to think about or do visualization for if you aren't used to that. You can, for example, take a piece of crystal or a rock with a sigil on it, or just using your altar that already has um, your energy and your magic on it. You can just place that jewelry on. Hey, you enchanted your glasses. You can place your jewelry on your altar overnight or forever for however long you'd like. And when you wear it and you already set your intention when you placed it on your altar, that's already enchanting jewelry. So for example, when I was a little busy and I didn't have time to do visualize enchant using visualization to enchant my jewelry, I took my ring and I put it on top of my piece of rose quartz for self love, and I just placed it on there on my altar, left it. The next time that I wore it, um, it was already enchanted. So that's how you can enchant jewelry. There's so many different ways. You can also just like put it on if you'd like to. Some people don't like to wet their jewelry, but if it's like just a cheap piece of jewelry that you'd like to use, run it under moon water, things like that. So that relates to the next, using either moon water, sigils, crystals, energy, etc. Actually, that's supposed to be a bullet under enchanting jewelry, but I misplaced that. So yeah, you can use moon water also. You can take a bowl. Using moon water to enchant jewelry, you can take a bowl of moon water, place a cup in the middle of it that's empty, and then you place the jewelry inside the empty cup, surrounded by the moon water. Leave it on your altar, leave it on the table. Um, do we have to personally make it? Yes, so moon water is essentially water that's never seen the sun. So it's moon. You bathe it in the moonlight. So you take a bottle of water, or any container of water. It can just be tap water. It can be water that you can drink if you'd like. If you plan to drink it, you can place it under the moon at night, and then before the sun rises, you bring it back inside. So that's how to make moon water. It's very easy. You can do it during the full moon or the new moon, depending on what you want. Um, that's it's very easy to use moon water, and it's good for several different things. So next is washing your face while visualizing blemishes lifting off your skin. So this is how I get rid of pimples actually. I'm lucky enough that I don't break out, but for those who do, you can, every time you wash your face or you do skincare, visualize that it's lifting off of your skin. The blemishes are lifting off of your skin and like leaving your body. And that's basically how I incorporate that's basically my spell for getting rid of a pimple, and it's worked for me pretty much in a day. Um just as long as you set your intention. And sometimes when I first did it, I actually spoke it out loud, alone in the bathroom. But anyway, next is self love jars. There are lots of self love jars that you can look for. Oh, that's unfortunate, but you can just visualize it. Sorry, I didn't get the other chat. Yeah, you can also make sun, rain, storm water the same way. Yes. Next is visual. These are hair spells. The last three are hair spells. So visualize your hair growing while applying conditioner from roots to tips. So when you are running your hands from your scalp to the tips of your hair, sort of visualize that every time you do that, every time you brush your hands uh, to your tips, it's longer. That's how to visualize your hair growing. And this can help because you're already applying conditioner. You can use a conditioner that is that has like herbs or a correspondence that you'd like. So I use a conditioner that has rose, like rose oil in it. I'm not sure, but it's like I got it from a local Filipino like pop-up shop thing from a bazaar. But anyway, use your conditioner to help visualize your hair growing. So this is like a hair growth spell. Next is to enchant your hairbrush to keep your hair healthy. So every time you brush your hair you visualize, or you have already enchanted your brush to keep your hair healthy. So every time that you brush your hair, you make it stronger. And that's another hair spell. The last one is hair mists or products with herb or oil correspondences according to what you need. So you can refer back to the lists again. So those are spells that I've done. Um, Definitely you can add more to this, and you can create your own spells using the correspondences that are already there for you. You can create your own correspondences, but the main takeaway is to um glamour is basically to how you want other people to perceive you, and you don't definitely don't have to hide behind the glamour. I want to reiterate that because people think that a glamour is used to hide who you are. No, your glamour is who you are. And when you feel good using Glamour Magick, it will reflect in your practice, it will reflect in your everyday life and other aspects of your life. And this is why Glamour Magick is very good to incorporate in your practice. So that's it actually. That's the last slide. Next slide is just, yeah, thank you for participating. That's really it. So you can print these correspondences into, lots of people do that in the server. They print it and put it in their grimoire. But yeah, those are the claps. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you for class tonight, Nisha. And thank all of you for coming. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thank you for coming, so many of you.
Does anybody else have any other questions or comments before we end class?
I'd love to hear comments or suggestions if you have any. We upload it. Yes, we will. Yes. We will upload the PowerPoint to the Discord server. Does anyone have a question or would like to share something? You can just share something. Is there a way to rewatch all classes? There is a way. We have this YouTube channel that we have a link to in announcements that has the recordings of all of the past classes. You can watch those again if you would like to rewatch. Any other questions before we end the recording? You can also just share. I really like your makeup. Oh, thank you. Link to the YouTube playlist is yes. Any more questions? Or you can also share things that are related to Glamour Magick that you have done in your practice, or even something mundane. As long as you're a practitioner, you can consider that as Glamour Magick. Anything else? Oop, what was that? How do I make? It will dry out the natural oils of your hair. So when you want your hair to be more, use a natural shampoo. Okay, but that's good. Just wash your hair every so often rather than every day. And the more you do that as time goes on, your hair will be more used to putting out its natural oils than being so dry. May I ask what are the implications of it also helps in our glamour? So sun, rain, storm water. I personally only use moon water. I'm not yet sure. I don't want to like misspeak about the correspondences that are already there, but you can definitely look it up. There are a lot. Ray, do you know them?
I use a lot of storm water because I do chaos magic. And the storms here where I live are typically super chaotic, so it kind of just enhances my intentions with that stuff. Yes, that chaos magic. It's like a newer form of magic. It's super easy to find on Google, I think, though. So
yes, and we also do have resources on chaos magic. How do y'all filter? I'm not. I don't use rainwater, so I don't know how.
I don't filter mine because I don't ever ingest it. I just use it in things. But you could probably like pass it through a coffee filter or something, so you don't drink nasty things or use nasty things.
Oh, there are also ways to filter. You can also like boil it. But for those who are going to make water and incorporate it in their practice, there are some people online who will say to put crystals in your water. Don't do that if you're going to ingest the water. Also, watch out for what crystals can go in water, because crystals are they still have chemicals. They can be harmful. This is
Mm.
also why this is 18 plus. Don't buy crystal pipes because you can end up inhaling the bad things in crystals. So yeah, people sell crystal water. Maybe don't trust those people. Is there a way to use perfumes for Glamour Magic? Yeah, you. So if you already have an existing perfume, you can enchant it for a very personal thing. Or you can use herbs when you buy a new perfume. It's definitely up to you. It's very much practitioner's choice. Any more questions? I love these questions. Drop it in the moonlight, make it talk. Eco.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.